Hey everyone, great to see you again. It's Jeff, Aromatics, and today we're going to be continuing with my series on how to blend a cigar. So in this series, or in this video, what I want to talk about is the first and probably the most important thing when it comes to blending your cigars, and that is know what you like. So if you want to start blending and you want to get into this, one of the main things that you're going to have to know is what kind of cigars that you like. So obviously, if you're going to do blending, I imagine you're going to be somewhat of a seasoned cigar smoker by now. You should be. If not, you can still do it and have fun. But I imagine you'll have a lot more get a lot more out of it if you actually smoke cigars often and know what you like. So what I mean by that is, there's lots of different types of cigars out there. So when you buy one, do you like spicy cigars? Do you like full flavored? Do you like mild cigars? Also, what region do you like? Do you find that you like Nicaraguan style? So say AJ Fernandez would be, I think, a good example of, if you like a lot of his stuff, then you're probably more into the Nicaraguan. Or say, do you like Dominican style cigars? Do you like the Arturo Fuente? Or do you like CAO? That's kind of a mix. So you got to figure out what exactly is your niche of cigars, and that's going to help you decide what leaf you're initially going to try to acquire. And in my experience, I have found that in the last couple of years, as a cigar blender, the accessibility of the tobaccos that I have been really excellent, in my opinion. So whatever I've decided to, like, there's a really good supply of Nicaraguan and Dominican for sure. Definitely Dominican. If you like Dominican style cigars, I've had access to some of the best Dominican tobacco out there as far as I'm concerned, and you can make a really good Dominican cigar. The Nicaraguan has been pretty good, and in between there's also some more exotic tobaccos that are available to you, such as Brazilian, Matafina, what else? Mexican San Andreas is out there. There's also some even more rare stuff like that's been accessible, like Peruvian and Paraguay. Once you've decided what type of cigars that you like, now you're going to want to acquire some of those leaves to make those cigars. Now, getting that tobacco is going to be up to you. There's a lot of places online, well, not a lot, but there's a decent amount of places online if you do some searching, and where you can get the different types of leaf that you want. Some of the places even have little kits that come pre-packed with all the different leaves that you need to make around 20 cigars. And that's how I started, and I would say that would be a good way for most of you to start as well, if that's the type of thing. Another thing you might want to consider is what type of wrapper leaf do you like? Now, you might not know exactly what a wrapper leaf tastes like on its own, but if you've smoked a lot of the commercial cigars, you might have found that you like certain sticks that have a particular wrapper. Like you might like the Cameroon style of cigars, or like me, this Camacho Triple Maduro has a Mexican San Andreas, which is a fairly unique type of wrapper that has its own flavor. So once you've decided what kind of wrapper that you like, what kind of strength, what style of area that you like, you can maybe put together a small order of leaves that you think you might like. So what I would recommend is, if you like Nicaraguan, then look around for some Nicaraguan leaves, and you probably want a good mix of some. There's 3 different types of leaves. We'll get all into this in later videos, but some Seco. There's the 3 different types of strength. So say you're looking at Nicaraguan, there's Seco, there's Viso, and there's Ligero. That's the basic idea. There's more to it than that, which, like I said, we'll get into at another time. But the Seco is the bottom part of the plant. That's the mildest part of the leaves, and that's what you want if you want to focus more on Seco and Viso if you're looking for more mild. And Ligero is the strongest, generally the strongest of the leaves, and that's at the top of the plant. And you might want to order more of that, or go Viso Ligero heavy if you want to do stronger, spicier. So another great way to decide on what kind of tobaccos that you will want to acquire is, ask yourself, what are the types of cigars that I like to smoke? And so once you've figured out like a particular cigar, a lot of times you can go online and go to their websites, and they'll give you an idea of what is basically in that cigar roughly. So those types of cigars, you can kind of try to acquire that tobacco. Of course, you're not going to be able to make an exact copy of that particular cigar because there's just way too many variables. But I have, in my experience, found that you can design your own cigar in that style. So say you like Nicaraguan cigars like AJ Fernandez. Of course, you're not going to copy his cigars, but you can definitely make a cigar that's got that Nicaraguan style of flavor that you like. So you can try to find what leaves those are and order a small quantity of those and go from there and experiment and see how that comes together for you. So now that you've figured out what kind of tobaccos, what kind of strength, what area you like, you can get those tobaccos and you can work on blending them together and making yourself a nice smokable cigar. All right, I'll leave this video at that. We're going to touch way more on other information. And if you're wondering what each tobacco tastes like, I'm going to make some videos explaining each individual leaf, how they taste, how I blend it, what cigars they might be in that you have smoked, just to give you an idea of the ingredients you're going to be using and how you might be able to use that to make a cigar that you would like. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look forward to more in this series. I know that I am, and I'll see you on the next video. So until then, everybody, you take care.